Hey, we're live on the Woodland Park Underground, and today I've got a real special guest who's running for city council. And this is a special city council election. This is only for a short term of 17 months, I believe. When they take office, they'll be in term for about 17 months. This is the vacated spot from Noel Sawyer, who resigned immediately following the general election for all the council members. And so I've got Catherine Nakai in holding right now. We're going to bring her on, and she's running for city council. We're going to learn a little bit more about her, and just that's about it. We're just going to learn more about her and why she's running for council. I told her today she must be crazy running for council, but she's put her name in the hat, and she's actually, I just opened my ballot today. She's on the same ballot with Donald Trump and Joe Biden in 2020, which is crazy. So it's a good time. So I've got Catherine here. Thanks for joining me today.
Hi, Michael. Thanks.
Yeah. So tell me why, and tell people watching why you're doing this.
Because I'm crazy, like you said. Because I love Woodland Park, and there seems to be some ideas that I'm not crazy about running through council, mostly getting rid of the municipal code. That was pretty much the icing on the cake for me to throw my hat in. But other than that, I don't know.
What was that? What was the icing on the cake that you threw your hat in there for?
The council wanting to contemplate getting rid of the municipal code. Not all of them, but some of them.
Yeah. So explain to people that are listening about what, in your opinion, because this is you, people are voting for you. In your opinion, what does that mean when they want to get rid of those codes or wanted to get rid of some of those codes?
For me, it's mostly the municipal zoning for building anything commercial, residential. We have specific zones. We have specific codes. If it isn't explicitly in the code, you can't build it. If you get rid of the municipal code, then you can have anything next door to you. There's nothing to stop any property owner from building a gas station next door to you or a bar. Our codes allow us to control how we develop Woodland Park and how we develop the businesses and the neighborhoods.
And when that was brought up, you said that was kind of you're like, I've got to do whatever I can to step in. Explain to me a little bit about your background. You kind of said to me earlier, you've been behind the scene in some things. Explain to me kind of how you've been involved here in Woodland Park.
So we moved here, we bought our first home in Woodland Park in 2001. And we just like everybody else, we wanted to get away from the big city and move into the mountains. And I grew up in the Springs, so I love the mountains. So the first thing I did was when they started talking about building a Walmart. So I got involved in that, and for good or bad, I was not for it. But it's here, and it's done some pretty good stuff for us. It's also, done some not so great stuff, but in general, it's a great store from what I can tell. And then I've been behind the scenes on a number of different issues with planning. I go speak before the planning commission or council on developments that I do or don't. Actually, I go speak when I don't like it. If you don't hear from me, I don't have a problem with it.
Okay. So you have been vocal, you've been involved, you've been at the council meetings and kind of seen how that, yeah. What do you kind of feel like the culture is of right now, our sitting council? Can I ask you that?
They're pretty divided on certain issues. They're not they're not entirely divided, but they don't seem to they just don't seem to agree on municipal zoning on a lot of things. If you've watched a council meeting, you can attest to. They couldn't agree on who to pick for the appointment to vacate, for Noel's vacated seat. We had to do this election. We had to spend $10,000 of the city's money for a group of people that want to be fiscally responsible. That doesn't really seem fiscally responsible.
Yeah, I was kind of explain that this is a normal situation where the sitting council would hear candidates who want to throw their hat in the name, and it would be a voted on thing by the sitting council. But like you're saying, the sitting council is so divided that they couldn't even decide on the person to take the vacant seat, thus putting us into this special election, thus almost kind of inciting a lot of stuff. You found out probably pretty quickly when you throw your hat in the name for city council or any political thing. Woodland Park almost seems like a different place.
It does, and I'm sad to see where it's gotten, because I don't remember it being this divided in the past. It seems to have just gotten worse in the last few years.
Yeah, and you've taken some attacks online, and some rumors and things have been said. And when I say rumors, only about your affiliations, nothing out of the craziness. No crazy, like they spread rumors about me that are crazy rumors. When it comes to you, it's more been about your affiliations on where you stand. And so in the terms that we would understand, can you explain to us kind of where you stand in the political scheme and culture?
I'm an unaffiliated voter.
Okay.
I don't really prescribe to any one party. I think there's great things on all, the three major parties in my mind are Republicans, Democrats, and Libertarians. And I like pieces of all of them. And so I take the good and try to ignore the bad from each of them. So I try to make an informed decision before I do anything silly.
Yeah, no, for real. And so that kind of brings me to some like issues around town. We kind of talked earlier that when I asked about certain things, you kind of explained, hey, I don't have all the info yet, and so when it comes to certain stances around town where people are so divided on things, kind of give me your take on how you're going to look at these things when brought before council, and what makes you think that you're going to be able to communicate what the people want any better than anyone else or any of the other candidates.
Well, I mean, we've all lived here long enough to, I think, have a general concept of how Woodland Park functions. But like you said, I don't know all the answers. I have my opinions. I've done some research, but I don't want to go into council with a set idea. I want to go in there and listen and hear everybody, and then make my informed decision. I mean, I don't want to go in there with preconceived, notions.
And you've been in the community how long now?
19 years.
19 years. See.
And
yeah, that's a cool. It's a cool perspective, though. 19 years ago, they legalized marijuana in Colorado. Many people don't know that. It was 2001 that originally marijuana was legalized. So that kind of puts a time perspective on you've been here 19 years. We live in a different Colorado now from the 19 years ago when you first, and a different Woodland Park than we lived in 19 years ago. And so you've seen a lot of growth over the last, let's just say 20 years. And now we find ourselves in a really difficult position with how we've been sucked into something that the whole world's been sucked into with this COVID stuff. And how do you think Woodland Park businesses and Woodland Park as a business community can rebound back from this COVID stuff? Do you have any insight on that?
I honestly don't. I mean, I do know that the businesses are trying really hard to come up with creative ideas to get people in. I know that for good or bad, Main Street did a great job this summer with their sidewalk sales. Businesses had the best week or month they'd had since COVID started. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know the answer, because in one side of it, we've had a lot more traffic come through town. So we've had an increase in sales tax revenue when people are shopping in stores. But we need to figure out how to get businesses up here that can compete with the likes, or not compete with, have a completely different dynamic from Walmart. I mean, that's a struggle up here. We have small businesses that can't really compete with Walmart. So it's hard to get new business up here. So I have no idea how to do it. Obviously, you have to sit down with business owners and maybe the Chamber of Commerce and put your heads together and try to come up with a creative way to come up with something.
What is if you could think up, and this is a hypothetical, so I don't want people to read too much into your answer, but what does Woodland Park look like to you in 10 years and 20 years? How do you envision what you would like to see in Woodland Park?
I would really like to see a bunch of little small niche businesses where people can come, like Manitou, without the pot. Manitou without the pot. And the pot, I don't have a problem with the pot. It's just that I don't like the way Manitou has developed since they have started selling it in Manitou. And it's not that far away to go to Manitou to get it. But I just think we need some cute little shops that will get tourists to stop and buy. And if they stop, they'll eat lunch or they'll eat dinner, they'll grab a beer. I don't know. I'm not a business owner.
No, I understand. I just wondered, as someone running for city council and representing the people, I just wondered how you may envision it. No, it's so obvious there. Now, you mentioned the pot question. You said, so I didn't even ask you that earlier, but since you brought it up, what is your stance on the legalization of marijuana and recreational marijuana in the city of Woodland Park?
I don't think the city council or the city should make that decision, to be honest. I think if the citizens of Woodland Park really want to have marijuana sold in Woodland Park, then they should get a citizens petition, get the signatures, and get the vote. Because I can't speak for the community on that. That's a very hot topic. And I
think that's a great answer. So you give it back to the citizens, go through the process of getting it on a ballot and going through that to go through that. Now, so you're not in the same, like I remember one councilwoman just a few years ago said, "Over my dead body will marijuana be legal in this town." Quote Councilman Harvey, if you can look it up, it's out there. It's not. I'm not making this up. She actually said it, and so it not over your dead body. It's just over a ballot initiative for you. If the people voted in, you're down.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my place to make that decision, to be honest. But I really do think that sorry, my phone. I really do think that should be the citizens' decision, not council.
They're probably calling you saying, "What are you doing on the underground right now?" Well, so what else? I don't want to take a ton of your time, but what do you want people to know about you? Because I'm telling you right now, my ballot is empty. Where city council, that $10,000 square right there, I haven't put in a bubble yet, and so I find that a lot of people haven't actually turned in their ballots, and tomorrow is going to be a record number of ballots being turned in here in Woodland Park. And the thing that I want people here to understand that are listening to this, that'll hear this over tonight, is your vote actually matters here in Woodland Park. But whether we argue over the presidential elections and all that stuff, when it comes to actual city council member votes, you have to be a registered living member here in Woodland Park. And I've seen elections come down to card draws because of ties. And so one vote actually could matter. And so what do you want people to know why they should vote for you?
Because I'm nonpartisan, because I really love Woodland Park. My agenda is Woodland Park. It's not it's to do what's best for us as a city, whether that's citizens or businesses, but for everybody, not just one group of 20 people that scream the loudest or don't scream the loudest. I just want to do what's best for all of us.
And just for like demographic, you're married? You got kids?
I'm married. I've been married 30 years. I have one stepdaughter, 3 grandchildren, awesome.
And 2 cats. No dogs?
No, because I work in the springs up until COVID, and I don't want to coop a dog up 8 to 10 hours a day.
I'm just messing with you.
Cat people
love. I love cat people too. I'm always talking about dogs. So again, I could go through the hot subject of the DDA, the DEER, the school board, all of those things. And your answer for me is probably going to be, I would want to get more information. Am I correct?
Yeah, like I said, it's not that I don't have information. I have information. I have my ideas, but I want more. I mean, I only get certain sides. I'd like to get all the sides, not just one or two sides before I make an informed decision.
Gotcha. I asked you about it today, and we're not going to disclose any information because it's just not appropriate, I don't think, right here on this podcast. But I just want to make this clear to everyone listening. When I asked about who financed your campaign, you were open, honest, and upfront with names and amounts pretty immediately. And I just want to tell you that I respect that about you, especially telling me. Now, you and I both know that it's public information and people can look that stuff up. And you were even saying, I got to go through this paperwork, to do all this. And so, but when it comes to the people who donated to your campaign, do those people have pull with you when it comes to major decisions? Because that's where people get scared when they start looking at the money. They're like, these people have donated to her. Are they going to get more pull? Because some of the people that you listed are movers and shakers in the community. And so for me, I'm asking you just to tell us, like you told me on the phone, your thoughts and feelings on taking money around campaigns and stuff.
There was no strings attached with any of the money. The money was given to me to help me purchase signs, basically, and to fund my campaign. Like I told you, I have funded 90% of my campaign.
Okay.
I took the money because people offered it, because they supported me, and they supported me as who they thought was the best candidate for us as a city, not my agenda, because I don't have one other than the city of Woodland Park. So no, there's absolutely zero strings attached.
And how are your relationships with the sitting members of council? Because being able to work with sitting members of council, do you have personal relationships up there on council now?
Rusty's the one that asked me to run. Kelly supported me as well. I know them. We're not enemies by any stretch. I've known Rusty about a year. And I've watched Kelly on council since she's been on there, and have just become acquaintances through this process.
But that's about it. It's been the acquaintances through the process. No, I think that's important for people to understand, because there are other council members. You mentioned Kelly. She obviously has strong relationships with other council members. Hillary LaBar and her are no pretend. They're business partners. They're super friends. I've seen them out hanging out. So I think it is important to tell people, listen, I've known Rusty a year. He asked me to volunteer for this, and I know who Kelly is. But outside of this, you don't have any personal relationships greatly with people on council.
No. And I will say this run has I've gotten to meet some new people, and it's been really nice to meet some new people.
Absolutely. Meeting new people, and especially people who are involved in the city, I think is important, because there's not a lot of people that just jump up and volunteer for these things. So again, I just want to thank you for taking the time a little bit, at least for me to get to know you. And if anything, you may have swayed me a vote either way. And so I'm excited for you. I do wish you the best of luck, and I kind of send out a blessing of protection around your family, because these are always times that you can get attacked from areas you didn't know. So thank you again for volunteering, and this is a volunteer position. It is a position that it comes with very little credit and a lot of headaches. So good luck tomorrow.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and hopefully for your vote.
Yes. And if you want to know more about Catherine, you can actually go to her website, which is what's the website address? Just NakaiForCouncil.com.
NakaiForCouncil.com, correct.
Yep. And you can see more about her on the website. You can also see, what were you being sworn in there for with Suzanne?
That was for the Board of Adjustment. So I'm a volunteer. I'm on the Board of Adjustment for the City of Woodland Park.
How long have you done that?
A little over a year.
Okay.
Started September of 2019.
Is there any other committees or in areas that you've kind of volunteered as far as the city?
Not well. I worked with the planning department for the last year, rewriting the municipal code on some of the residential stuff. But as a member of the Board of Adjustment, I can actually not be on any other committee.
Okay, so that's the rules of that. Will this affect your role in the Board of Adjustments?
If I'm elected, then I will have to resign.
Okay.
If I'm not elected, I will fill out my term, which is until 2023 or until I run again.
All right. Well, thanks again, and thanks for coming on and giving us a little bit more info. And again, I wish you luck, and you can see more about her right here on the website. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. We'll see you. Goodbye. Well, there you go. I didn't want to keep her for very long. I don't need to go back and forth. I can put my, it's more for you guys, more for you to understand a little bit more about her, to put a face with a name. You've seen the signs. I can tell you now, and this is not anything against her or anything. I can tell you that she is aligned. She hasn't aligned and isn't maybe with any strings attached. But just because I've done this and I understand how Woodland Park and the political sides work, you can go down the street. You can look at the businesses who have Catherine's signs up, and you will know where politically she falls a little bit. I'll just say that. I don't want to make it awkward or anything. I just am being honest by that stand. The people that she had mentioned that have donated to her campaign, like I said, she told me exactly who they were, how much they donated. Again, that's public record. You can go find that out for yourself. You can put in a core request right here with the city. They can give you information like that on all the candidates, which you may find useful. Now, I don't know how quickly they can get it to you before tomorrow's election, but it's always good to know where the money has come from. To all the other candidates, man, I'm here all night long here on the Underground, and we're going into tomorrow with election coverage. Props for getting the name on the same ballot as Joseph Biden and Donald Trump and Kanye West. Let me tell you, just because I can, and this is the Underground, and we're going to give you a little scoopity scoop. So the other candidates who are running that are in there that I haven't voted on anyone. Stephanie Alfria. Stephanie Alfria is a longtime resident of Woodland Park. I believe she's kind of from Colorado and has grown up here in the Woodland Park area. I can also tell you that she aligns with Tanner Coy, the owner of Tweed's Home Furnishing, just because they have been doing their business for a couple of, their relationship has been open and public for a long time. Tanner Coy is a slime ball, in my opinion, which would then put Stephanie in the slime ball category. If you're sleeping with a slime ball, I look at you and go, you're a slime ball. So Stephanie is out on my vote, 100%. Do I know Stephanie personally? Absolutely not. Do I know Tanner Coy? Yes. I know a lot about Tanner Coy and his up and downs on Main Street and what he has done for this city. He has cost the city over $1 million in legal fees to his buddy for lawsuits that pretty much were brought on by himself. So no to Stephanie if you stand with the Underground, just so you know. Dawn Deselman, I'm going to tell you right now, I like Dawn. Up until today, Dawn had my vote and still may have my vote. Dawn he loves Woodland Park. He started as the manager of McDonald's. He works at Walmart in town. He's been a longtime member of a house of worship, a fellowship, a church here. He has committed his life to Woodland Park and now has inadvertently thrown his name into a cesspool soup. If you get, there's good people up on city council. Don't get me wrong. There are good people there. Well, are there good people up there right now? There's some good people up on city council. Dawn's a good person. I'll be honest with you though. What scares me about Dawn is I feel like Dawn could be pushed over. I feel like he could be pushed over, right? I feel like he could be a little bit of a pushover. I know where Stephanie's voting. I know every vote that'll come out of Stephanie's mouth before she says it. Dawn, I think I know where he would go with, and I think it would be, in my opinion, better and good for Woodland Park. The problem I have with Dawn is I don't know Dawn super personally, so I don't know how big of cojones he has, and so just my observation of people, and I'm pretty good observing people. My observation, I like Dawn. I may still vote for Dawn because he's the safe vote. Catherine Nakai, the fact that she came on the underground takes her up a notch with me. The fact that she was honest immediately when I asked who donated to her campaign. The fact that I kind of respect a few people that donated to her campaign goes a long way with me too. I don't always respect the way they've done things. I don't always respect, but the difference is I can tell you this, the people that have donated to Catherine's campaign have, most of them that I've known, have been very respectful to me. They're very upstanding citizens in this community. And frankly, one of them I wish would run for office, because if she would run for office, one of the people who donated to Catherine's campaign is one of the best women Woodland Park has ever had. And so I judge a lot of people by their wives, and I judge a lot of people by the friends they keep. And Catherine keeps some good peeps. And when you keep good peeps, I may not know everything and even agree with everything you do, but if you keep good peeps in your life, you're more likely to get a little bit more respect, at least from me and mostly people. So she keeps good peeps. I'm going to give her that. I don't think she'll be a pushover. Actually, I know she probably won't be a pushover when it comes to certain things. She is very, very, very concerned about the zoning. Because there's a lot of people on city council who are not concerned about zoning. And what I mean by that, they're just like want to throw zoning out the window and let developers come in and do whatever they want. And a lot of Woodland Park citizens, people who have bought property here, people who own property here, people who own businesses here, don't just want businesses to be able to pop up anywhere. It's good or bad or indifferent. It is what it is. So. Hey, thanks for watching The Underground. This has been it's going to be a fun political couple of days just because. So make sure to get your votes in by tomorrow. Make sure that you seal and fill out your ballots correctly. A couple of other initiatives you need to be very, very aware of is the wolf initiative. Guys, we do not want to introduce wolves to Colorado. This is a headache for our tourism, and I can break this down from you, but every outdoorsman, every hunter, anyone who actually pays money to conserve wildlife in Colorado would tell you that this is a terrible idea to introduce wolves into Colorado. So please vote no to Proposition 114. Everything else is so crazy. I'll leave it up to you to make the decision. Where's the underground going to vote? I'm going to make my decision right now on air, which means I have to get a pin so that I can fill this out and it be an official endorsement. All right. What are we doing? Blacking. I gotta do it in blacking. What is this? All right, here we go. So I'm going to show you who I'm voting for city council. And I'm going to show you who I'm voting for president. Because my vote for president really doesn't matter. Because of I'm going to tell you. So just so everybody knows, I'm voting for Catherine Nakai for city council, who was just on my show. And for president, I'm voting for Kanye West. I voted for Catherine, one, because I convinced myself if you keep good peeps, you're good peeps to me. Two of her donors have been not only super respectful to me, they've been supportive of me, and I can make a decision based on who's supporting her for money. I don't have to vote in city council, but if these people are willing to put money behind her and are supporting her, those people have supported me and have blessed me in the past. And so more power to you. I hope you win, Catherine. If you did, maybe I pulled one or two votes. You did pull my vote tonight. Kanye West, because when I stand before my great grandkids and they have a list, they have a history list of what Joe Biden and Donald Trump have done, I want to be able to say, listen, guys, I voted for Kanye, so don't be mad at your granddad. I don't know. It seems like the appropriate thing to do in 2020 is vote for Kanye West. So I voted for Kanye West for president right here on the underground. And I am going to fill out the rest of my ballot and get this thing turned in. So thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. Y'all are awesome. We're out.